What's up guys, Ryan here. I hope this video finds you well. I wanted to piggyback off of the previous video that I had dropped on my channel where I told you guys that Amazon merch had to close their doors temporarily due to the cerveza sickness. That video generated a lot of interest. In a mere 2 days, it's almost at 2,000 views, which is good for my channel right now. And so clearly you guys are interested, and I just wanted to piggyback off of what I suggested in that video, which, by the way, I'll put a link in the YouTube cards right here. If you haven't watched part 1, go check it out. Basically, in part 1, I suggest being agile, and while Amazon merch closes their doors, and you cannot buy Amazon merch products in the US right now, you can in UK and Germany, but not in the US, I wanted you guys to pivot to using the Printful integration to sell through Amazon Seller Central. Now in this video, I want to touch on another way to make money selling print-on-demand products, not just focusing in scope on Seller Central. Now I would prioritize both Printful to Amazon and Printful to Etsy. Speaking from personal experience, I did quite well selling on both at the same time, but there's other strategies that you can sell print on demand online and make a nice passive income that I don't think should be prioritized. And I want to talk about why. So what I'm going to talk about will involve using the Printful integration. So go ahead and join if you haven't already. But in this business model, you're going to open your own online store. Now hold up, before you all get angry at me and yell at me in the comments, I want to explain why I disagree with this approach to selling print on demand with a caveat. The caveat is, if you are not successful selling print on demand, meaning if you're not hitting 5 figures revenue a month, in my personal opinion, with print on demand sales, I don't think you should be looking to start your own online store, meaning, your own custom.com domain where you're responsible for the full scope of the success of that store. And I'm going to break down in this video what that means when I say full scope. But real quick, I took this screenshot behind me from Printful. So if you go to the stores tab in Printful and then you go to add platform, this is only 8 of the options. Behind me, it's PrestaShop. But I think there's 10 or 12 different options that you can use to launch your own online store. So clearly, these are popular ways of building an online presence. But there are caveats, again, that need to be discussed. And I don't see too many people, I don't see too many talking heads like myself on YouTube keeping it real. And those of you that are familiar with my content know that that's at my core. I want you guys to always be able to see me talk about something and know that I actually bring knowledge to that, to whatever it is I'm talking about. That's why I go through the exercise of spending 1 to 2 days each month putting those income reports together. Because I don't want you to trust me just because I put a video out. I want you to trust me because you see the results too, and you know that I'm doing it, so I'm speaking from experience. Because too many YouTubers get away with talking. Talk is cheap. They don't prove anything. So, just be critical thinkers when you're looking to people. It's not that you cannot be successful opening a Shopify store through the Printful integration, but you have to just be cognizant of the fact that everything that I'm going to discuss in this video falls on your shoulders as the shop owner, and it's additional work that you wouldn't have to otherwise do if you just decide to sell on the proven e-commerce websites that let us capitalize on their brand trust amongst customers to sell to their customer base. So I'm going to talk about that in this video as well. Everything that I speak to in this video is going to be optimized for Shopify because it is probably the most popular and well-known e-commerce platform listed behind me that Printful integrates with. And before I jump straight into that, I just wanted to let you guys know I have a Print on Demand with Ryan Facebook group that you guys can join for free. There's a link in the description. I hope you'll check it out. In here, we're helping each other succeed as print-on-demand sellers. Obviously, the pie is huge. We don't have to worry about stepping on each other's toes. It's a friendly community, and you'll get a lot out of joining, I hope. Also, last thing, I have a free print-on-demand mini course that'll get you set up with the Printful Etsy integration. Literally 100% free. So just go ahead and check it out. There's a link in the description. No reason not to. All right, back to the topic at hand. Step 3, so you've already opened a Printful account and then you've integrated it with Shopify. By the way, Shopify has a monthly fee associated with it. Shopify Lite is not going to get the job done, so you're going to need to pay at least $30 a month for the like normal business plan for Shopify. So you're already looking at a monthly fee there. $30 a month is cheaper than the Amazon Pro account, Seller Central, which is $40 a month. But at least with the Amazon seller account, you're selling on the #1 e-commerce platform in the world that already has hundreds of millions of visitors each month, which is a little bit different than launching on Shopify where you're starting from scratch and nobody knows you exist at first. Now, step 3, you need to optimize your store with add-ons. It's not enough to just use the out-of-the-box baseline Shopify themes. You may hear people saying things to the contrary, but I promise you, if you're going to undertake this massive effort of launching your own online store, like, you can't cut corners. You know, like, think about when was the last time you went to some random store for a brand you'd never heard of and it looked like a crappy website, but you still pulled out your credit card and hoped for the best that they would ship you whatever you ordered. Like, how often does that happen? It's not often. If you're going to go through everything required to be successful launching your own online store, you cannot cut corners. So you need to like open your Shopify store. I didn't even put a slide in here, but you need to like, you know, I'm a web developer, so like I've opened multiple Shopify stores. I can go in there, I can write the CSS, the JavaScript, I can write HTML. I can do it all myself. I don't need to, I mean, it's not that I wouldn't pay for add-ons, but like in theory, I could build them myself if I wanted to. But there's a time thing where sometimes it's not always worth doing it yourself and you just have to pay. But assuming that you're not a web developer, you're at the mercy. You have to basically pay for a lot of these add-ons that are par for the course with running a Shopify website. Like, there's a direct correlation between this, first of all, the success of your website and your conversion rate. You know, it's hard enough, like step 4, I'll give you a preview, is to drive traffic to your website. The reason I put step 3, optimize your store first, is because there's no point in going through what it takes to drive traffic to your website if it's not optimized to convert. You know what I mean? Because it's like, driving traffic is harder than optimizing with add-ons, which the add-ons are not that big of a deal, but I just wanted to let you guys know that these almost all, like by far the majority, you're going to be paying monthly. And based on your success, how much you pay, and they don't all work like the way I'm explaining, but the majority of them do. Based on how successful your store is, you will pay them more. So it's one of these things that it's just another cost you need to be aware of. And you can't really skip it, you know? Running some crappy Shopify store, it doesn't really work. You might get some sales, but you're not going to get much. All right, step 4, my favorite one to talk about, because I actually bring a lot of expertise and real-life personal experience to this, and that's driving traffic to your store. When I say store, I mean website. So assuming now you've gotten over all of the technical hurdles, you got your Shopify store set up, you got your .com domain set up, they're good about making it user-friendly. It's why Shopify is so popular. Well, it's one of the reasons. You got your add-ons installed. For the most part, it's just click, next, 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 configure a couple things. None of that stuff from a technical aspect is that hard. But driving traffic is hard. And there is a little bit of like technical knowledge that you should have before you even try to approach this. Unless you want to go the route of social media traffic, which, by the way, so few people are honest about. Driving traffic to a website from social media is not easy at all. It has gotten infinitely harder recently. And not many people keep it real, but like these social media websites, do you know how, like, they're publicly traded. They're beholden to investors. You know how they put a smile on investors' faces? By generating revenue. How do they generate revenue? For the most part, it's through advertising. So they're clamping down on organic exposure in a lot of different ways. Now, I'm sure at least one person's going to hit me up in the comments and say, well, I was successful. Of course, yes, some people will be successful. But like, it's a time value proposition. How long do you have to spend each day coming up with like good social media? Not just crap like advertising your listings and hoping that like 10 people see it, but like, you know, it's a science. There's so much to learn when it comes to all 3 things that you see on this slide, by the way. And these are pretty much your options for driving traffic. You're either paying for traffic, you're generating organic traffic, which is what I really excel at, or you're doing it via social media. And I've done, across the board. I have experience with all three, but I've been like really successful at the organic side of things, which is also, in my opinion, the hardest to do. And I want to touch on all three of these, starting with organic traffic. And this is why I want you to trust me. So this is my RyanHogue.com Google Analytics since I launched it in October of 2018. So this is somewhat impressive. I mean, keep in mind that like the actual numbers that you see as far as users, new users, sessions, those should be gauged relative to the keywords and the content that you're putting out there, because some content has, it's all relative basically. If your pie that you're dividing up is 10,000 people, then you'll never see numbers like you see on this slide. If it's 1 million people, obviously you can inflate that. If it's 10 million people or 1 billion people, all based on how popular what you're putting out content is, you'll see more people more or less. But the important part is that it's going up and to the right. It's growing. And there's a lot of legwork that goes into building organic traffic. It is not easy. I could do another video or a whole course on it, honestly, speaking from my personal experience. But for those of you that aren't impressed by this, you should be impressed by this. This is the website. If you follow my income reports, and I always drop a little thing about Google AdSense, I started this website in college for fun, the subject matter of the website, and I keep it private just because, I mean, maybe in the future I'll tell you what the domain is. I really don't care that much. It's not like my YouTube audience is going to make a difference in the website traffic if y'all wanted to go look at it. But, this was a passion project. I used it as a way of becoming a better web developer, but I also enjoyed doing the content for it. It's really like a fun leisure website. And as you can see, it actually has spiked in, you can kind of see, it's spiked in popularity with the cerveza sickness. So I'm actually going to be generating more money through this website as a result of the, what's going on in the world today. Anyways, this website's been quite successful. It's 100% organic traffic, and I've monetized it in a lot of different ways. I'll talk more about that probably in another video sometime about the different ways to monetize web traffic. But this is a dream scenario for somebody running their own online store, because honestly, organic traffic takes time. Like, there's so many things, go Google SEO and just do a quick read. Like, there are things that you wouldn't expect that factor into organic traffic, such as, and when I say organic, what do I mean? Really, more or less, I mean being found in search engines without paying to show up. So what does that really mean again? It means you're showing up near the top of search results, because nobody's going to page 2, and not many people scroll down page 1, so you need to be at the top of page 1, somewhere near the top. And it's any search engine. The big 2 search engines in the world are really YouTube and Google, or Google and YouTube, flip them. Google being number 1. And obviously there's money associated with ranking on valuable keywords in these search engines, which means you can correlate money to be made with effort involved in actually achieving that rank and getting that free exposure. So you know what I mean? If there's money to be made, it's going to be competitive. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's just one of these things. Organic traffic is not easy, and there's a time component. Google doesn't, when you register a new .com domain, it's on public record, the date that it was registered. So Google can see, their bots can see, okay, this domain, ryanstshirts.com was registered 3 days ago. Do you think I'm going to start ranking high on valuable keywords organically on Google? Like, they have the highest collective of human IQ ever assembled. Their engineers are smart enough to factor in that time component and not just immediately trust brand new websites. So it's not just going to happen overnight, which means you're most likely going to need to run some paid traffic. When you look at behind me, this is running, this is a screenshot from, I just pulled it off Google, honestly, but it's just a Facebook advertising dashboard. And what you really have to pay attention to is this column right here above me, the ROAS, return on ad spend, or on Amazon, we call it the ACOS, like advertised cost of sale. And you have to know, like, essentially what your profit margins are and stay within that range so that you don't lose money advertising. Because also, by the way, just because you pay to show up in search results or pay to get in front of people doesn't mean they're going to click your ad. You have to have good ad creatives, another part of this equation, that people will actually show interest in, click them. Then now that they're on your website, by the way, you're not going to convert the majority of them. You're going to convert like 5% or less, most likely. 5% is honestly if you're lucky. And then, and it depends on your targeting, but it's like if you're converting a low percentage of the clicks you generate, then that's going to have to be like priced into your actual costs of your products. And it's just this equation is complicated, and there's a massive learning curve to all of these different components involved with running your own online store. The reason I'm doing this video, guys, it's not like I'm not trying to be like a negative guy. I just want to protect people who go and see like random YouTubers talking about how easy it is, never showing any proof, although some of them actually are successful at it. It's not like everybody fails at it, but my God, the majority of people fail. The vast majority fail. And you can start to see why. Hopefully this video is painting that picture for you of why it's so easy to fail. I mean, think about it. If you're selling on Amazon, what do you really need to know? You just need to know how to succeed on Amazon, and there's multiple strategies. Like, I teach multiple different strategies in my various courses, but I make sense of them given the course. You know what I mean? Like, there's different ways to sell on Amazon. FBA, FBM, merch, KDP. Like, I tailor my strategies to each course, controlling for the variables associated with each way of selling on Amazon. So it just I don't know what I'm really trying to even say. Actually, yes, I do. So my suggestion, after all of this rant that clearly I got a little bit passionate about, is to just keep it simple. Everything I just described in this video, it's like you can eliminate the need to generate traffic by selling on platforms that already get traffic. You can eliminate the need to optimize your website to convert if you sell on a platform that's already optimized to convert. You can eliminate the need to generate brand trust and brand identity that when no one's heard of you by selling on Amazon, selling on eBay, Etsy, Redbubble. There's so many different websites to sell print on demand on. So if you have a great t-shirt idea right now in your head that you're like, I can sell this, this will sell. What's stopping you from selling it? You already know you can use the Printful integration, so it's really exposure, right? It's just getting out in front of people. And if you're selling, by the way, if you're selling on these e-commerce platforms, as in not your own store, but a place like Amazon, it's in their interest, their best interest, for the cream to rise to the top. So what do you think happens to your listing of your awesome t-shirt idea that people are seeing, clicking, and buying? What do you think happens? You rise to the top of search results because Amazon makes money when you make money, and they love a happy customer. And when you have a high conversion rate, that signals to them that, it's one of the indicators that, oh, well, this should be promoted. This should get more exposure because customers are looking for it, clicking it, and buying it. So guys, Printful Amazon integration, I recommend checking it out. I have been successful to the tune of 6 figures selling through the Printful Amazon integration. My best day was, I believe, $3,000 in a single day selling through it back in August, like late 2018. That same day I did $5,000 on Etsy, well, $4,500 on Etsy. And then real quick before I wrap the video up, I just wanted to remind you that I do have a Dropshipped print on demand course, 10 modules, 60 lectures, all built on my personal experience, how I make 6 figures a year in 2018, 2019, and I'll do it again in 2020. It's all current, by the way, all the content. If you want to learn from me, it's not like you need to join my course to be successful, but if you think about it like this, in a week, ask yourself how much progress you've made. If it's none, you may want to consider investing in the course, because I promise you, I'll get you from where you are to where you want to be if you just follow along. And I'm here to support you. We have a private Facebook community to help the students along. We help each other out. And I want you to succeed clearly. The pie is huge. It's not like we're going to be stepping on each other's toes. My parents always ask like why I put this information out for free. And I say it's because there's like billions of dollars to be made. Not like millions or hundreds of millions. Billions with a B. So let's go get this money, guys. Anyways, again, I hope this video finds you well. I know it's a weird time to be alive. We're going to make it through it together, though. And it's a great time to be starting an online business if you're stuck at home with nothing better to do. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching till the end. Do me a favor, subscribe if you're not already. Do me a favor, hit that like button too so YouTube promotes it to more people. And I will see you at the next video.
Passive Income School is open. Enroll now at RyantsMethod.com. Thank you.